Coming into a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you, and with a sort of intention that we are going to be stretching our hamstrings today, we're just going to connect with our breath. So take a moment to find your breath. Notice what it's feeling like today. Maybe that you'd like to close your eyes or soften your eyes. Notice the way your breath feels as it's moving into your nose or your mouth. And also notice the way it feels as it's moving out of your mouth or your nose. Notice if you're holding any tension in your body. Oftentimes that tension is being held in our shoulders, a lot of times in our face, and we don't even realize it. In our hips and our knees. Oftentimes in our hands, we might be balling up our hands and we don't realize it, or we might be twiddling our fingers and we don't realize it. So see if any tension, if a bodily inquiry brings any tension to your mind. And if so, see if you can relax it on an exhale. As you breathe out, you can just say, relax my shoulders, or relax my jaw, soften my hands, let go in my hips, whatever it might be for you. And then the breath that we're going to do, that what I like to kind of revisit throughout the practice today, is guiding our breath directly to an area of tension, which for the most part is going to be our hamstrings today. Guiding the breath there and then letting go of the tension as we do it. So right now, find any area of tension in your body. Hopefully you've already identified something. I think we've all got tension in our body somewhere. And then as you inhale, use your imagination, use your mind's eye, your body awareness or sense, however you want to refer to it, and send your breath right to that spot. So for an example, I can feel some tension in my left quadricep. I'm going to inhale and I'm going to send that breath right there to that spot of tension. For some of us, it might be that we like to send it in the form of a light, like we can have a better time imagining a ball of white light or a ball of light, sending that into the spot. But as you inhale, you might imagine the breath moving through your body and going right to that spot. Then likewise, as you exhale, you're going to send that tension away from your body, breathing out. So as we breathe in, the breath goes right to that spot of tension. It gathers up the tension, and then when you exhale, it carries the tension away from your body. Let's practice this now, breathing in, sending breath right into that area that you've chosen, gathering up the tension, and as you exhale, breathe it away from your body, softening, relaxing, easing the tension. Okay. We're going to come back to a unfocused breath. Oh, I don't like to use those words. We can always focus our breath, but we're going to come into a less focused breath as we begin to move a little bit. But I'm going to refer to that breath throughout the class so that we can help release our tension, okay? In your comfortable seated position, whatever that is, we're going to move through a seated cat and cow, stretching our spine, stretching our hip flexors. So with hands at your thighs or knees, or maybe on the floor, depending on how you're seated, with an inhale, we'll send our chest forward and up so that we're stretching the spine in front of the body. And with an exhale, drop the chin, round the spine, pull back so that we're creating flexion in the spinal muscles. Your inhale guides you forward. And your exhale brings you back. You can continue if you'd like that breath that we were just doing. Inhale, gathering your breath toward any tension that you're feeling. And then exhale, sending that tension out of your body with your breath. As you move towards your next inhale, we're going to go into hip circles. So we're inhaling forward in our cow, and then we're coming to the right and exhaling back. And then inhaling forward to the right, exhaling back to the left. Very slow, gentle motions this morning. Easy movements, really working for our tissues and our bones. Working for them rather than using them. We're going to let them use us. When you're ready, change direction. Noticing if that tension that you found earlier is becoming less or maybe has already gone. Let's go one more time around. And then finding our way back to center. Sitting up real tall, we're going to take a little twist. Always sitting up tall to help protect your spine. Pull your tummy in and turn gently to the right, easing into it, really listening to your body, not forcing anything today, just moving toward your body. Moving toward any healing capabilities. Moving toward your body's ability to correct itself, your mind's ability to correct itself. Notice any tension here, and if you'd like to guide your breath into that tension and then exhale, sending it away. A twist is a great place to do that. One more breath. Gently come back to center. Again, bring your spine again nice and tall, tummy's pulled in. As we gently move toward the other side. Not overdoing it. If you feel discomfort in your postures, take it really slow. Allowing your mind and body to sync and connect together to know how far you should go. It's always better to ease in than to have to back out or back off. Nothing wrong with backing off. It's easier on the body and on the mind to ease in. Again, reminding you if you'd like to breathe into any source of tension and breathe out, letting that source go. One more breath here. Then releasing back forward nice and slow. From here, we're going to extend our legs forward, moving toward a staff pose. But we're going to lean back on our hands here. Fingertips forward if you can. If you can't bring your fingertips forward, bring them outward or even backward. And then we're going to join our shoulder blades towards center of the back and lift our chest up toward the sky. Flex your toes toward your body. Maybe looking up a little bit or looking forward. Just listen to what feels right. Opening the chest, we're going to press the legs into the ground. Pressing the legs into the ground, helping to activate the muscles there. One more breath. Come up off of your wrists. And we're going to rock the baby, bending the right knee with your left hand, grab hold of the right foot. With your right hand, grab hold of the right knee and rock that leg side to side. To the right, to the left. What we're focusing on, the point of this one is bringing fluid and suppleness into the hip. So we're wanting to really move the joint. You might imagine the hip as a ball and socket connection, a ball and socket joint. And we're just wanting to create movement in that ball, in the socket. So any kind of movement that would feel good here in that joint should be practiced. Maybe the leg would come up higher. Maybe it would come closer to your chest. Maybe further to the right or left. If this causes you any pain, definitely do your movements much smaller Or if it causes pain just to be this far, bring your leg down to rest it on your left leg. And let's see if we can bring that right foot all the way over the left leg to the ground. Wrapping our arms then around the right shin or holding on to the knee or whatever works. Perhaps leaning forward just a bit and relaxing. Maybe you'd like to lower your head down. Take a couple of breaths and notice what you feel in this position. One more breath. Then we're going to bring the right foot back over to its side and let the knee fall down. Left leg is extended, right foot is in toward the left thigh. Maybe adjusting the way that you're sitting so that this is more comfortable for you. Flexing your foot, we're going to take a forward fold here, but I want to do it in a way that doesn't stretch our upper back, but rather hinges from our hips. So sitting up nice and tall, hand comes to the thigh, both hands come to the thighs, and then we're just going to, from our hips, walk our hands forward, leading with the chest into a forward bend. When you feel a nice stretch in the hamstrings, stop there and relax your head down. Maybe this is bringing your hands all the way to rest around your foot. Maybe the hands are resting on the shin or thigh or ground. Make it comfortable for you so that you get a nice stretch in the back of your thighs. Once you've found that position, try that breath. Notice the stretch and breathe right into the heart of the stretch. And as you breathe out, see if that muscle, those tissues will release a little bit more, sending the tension away with your breath. This type of breathing can often take you deeper into your pose or give you more strength in your pose. This isn't a strengthening pose, so it might take you deeper into the pose. You might feel your body come a little bit more forward as you breathe. You might feel your leg get a little bit straighter or more relaxed as you breathe. Maybe you won't feel much of anything. About 2 more breaths. Bring yourself back up tall. Bring your left foot in. We'll take a quick butterfly pose. Bottom of the feet are together. Hands wrapped around the feet if you can. If not, hands at the knees or ankles or wherever works for you. Sitting up nice and tall, pull your tummy in. And then we'll extend the right leg out in front of us. From here, we'll rock the baby on the left side. Right hand coming to the left foot, left hand coming to the right or to the left knee. Opening the hip, closing the hip, open, close. Now I've positioned us here with the hand at the foot and the hand at the knee. just because that's accessible for most of us. If you wanted to hold differently, you certainly could. For the full expression of the pose, you might have the leg really cradled in the arms, hence the name Rock the Baby. But that takes the stretch a lot deeper. So do it according to what feels nice in your body. I like to bring my arms under my legs sometimes, that's comfortable. So play around with it. See what works best for you. Remember, maybe bringing the leg higher or lower, further to the left or further to the right. This is not the place to try to bring the foot over the head. Although if you're at home and wanted to try it, I suppose I couldn't stop you. All right, when you're ready, try bringing that left foot across the right leg and to the floor, wrapping your arms around your left shin or whatever works for you. Maybe it's your knee or your thigh or even hands on the ground. And just kind of relax forward a little bit, softening your head. And rise up. We're going to release the left foot back to the left side of the leg, foot to the inside of the right thigh, left knee relaxes down, sitting up tall. Reposition yourself if you need to. Bring your right hands to your, or bring both hands, sorry, to your right thigh. And then we'll be hinging from the hips, walking the hands forward into a forward fold, into a place that feels comfortable in your thigh. Once you've found that place, relax your head down and try the breathing exercise. Then sending your inhale to the source of tension, and with your exhale, sending it away, allowing yourself to go to a deeper place of relaxed tissues. Let's go ahead and come up. going to come on up to standing. I'm going to come through downward facing dog to get another hamstring stretch. But if downward facing dog isn't for you, just come up to standing. If you'd like to do a downward facing dog, hands and knees, hands aligned under the shoulders, and then hips high, chest down. If you did opt for a downward facing dog, just whenever you're ready, come on up to standing. Okay, it looks like everybody's with us and standing. Find a mountain pose. Last class, so I'm gonna assume we know mountain pose by now, so I won't walk us through it. Bring a subtle awareness or acknowledgement into the alignment in your body, noticing the balance from left to right and right to left. Notice the subtleness of your breath, the length of your legs and spine, the height of your head, the opening of your heart. With an inhale, bring your arms wide, stretching and up overhead. Reach up tall, and with an exhale, arms wide, we're gonna forward fold. Softening your knees as you come down. Relax your head down. If it works for your body, bring your hands behind your legs to give yourself a little hug. Otherwise, bring your hands someplace else, maybe your thighs or your hips or a chair or block, maybe all the way down to the ground, whatever works best for you and feels most comfortable in your body. We'll take 2 more breaths in this forward fold. Release your hands forward if they are behind your legs, and slowly roll your way up to standing. All the way up, with your chin being the last part of you to come up, allowing your blood pressure to regulate for a moment. And then back to mountain pose. From here, taking a triangle pose, again working to stretch our hamstrings. Big step straight back with the left leg, and then open the hip with the left foot pointing out. Both legs are straight for a triangle pose. Hips are open. With an inhale, bring your arms wide. Shoulders relaxed, chest is open. And an exhale, reach with the right arm, lowering it down. Left arm reaches up. Once you notice what that feels like, perhaps your body will want to open deeper into the pose, and the body sinks further down with the hand, ultimately perhaps coming to the ground or your ankle, your shin, maybe a block. As always, if the upper arm is tired, it can come down to your low back or someplace else. Don't go too deep in a triangle pose. You want to go just deep enough. For some of us, we might be pretty high up still, and that's okay. As we breathe, as we release, we might get a little bit deeper into our posture. Two more breaths here. Let's bend the right knee and come up to a warrior two, just for a moment. Left hand to left thigh, bring your right arm up for a stretch. Stretch, try to touch the sky. Back to warrior two. Straighten through the front leg, right foot turns in, star pose. Shoulders relaxed, chest is open. Left foot turns out, we're headed to triangle on the other side. Looking out toward the left middle finger. When you're ready, reach, lower the left hand down, right arm up, and ease deeper into the posture. Both legs are straight, but neither knee is locked, or knocked, but locked. Just like we've been doing with our breath, here we can inhale, find the tension, what's preventing us from going deeper in our triangle, and send your breath to it. Maybe it's your back, your hip, your shoulders, maybe it's your leg or your ankle, whatever it might be. See if you can identify it, breathe into it, and then as you exhale, let it take you deeper into the pose. When you're ready with an inhale, bending the left knee, we're gonna work toward warrior two, raising up arms wide, looking out toward the left middle finger. And then right hand to the right thigh, left arm reaches up. Stretch the fingertips toward the sky. Back to warrior two. Straighten through the front leg. Left foot turns in. Star pose. Hands come down to your thighs. Move your bottom back. Straight spine. Lower your hands down your thighs, coming into a forward fold, leading with the chest. Hips continue moving back. And allowing your body to ease deeper and deeper until maybe your hands are coming to the floor. Maybe they're coming to your ankles. Whatever feels right in your body is where you want to be. Really start bringing yourself back up. Hands to your thighs to work your way all the way up. And then walking your feet back in toward each other. Finding mountain pose once again. From here, we're headed to a warrior one. With an inhale, left leg is stepping straight back. Left toes turn just very slightly to the left. Right knee bends, knee is above the ankle. Hips are still facing forward. Pressing down through the left heel. With an inhale, raise your arms up overhead. If you can, bring your palms together. Intertwine the fingers with pointers up and thumbs out. Stretch through the body. Looking up toward the thumb if that feels okay on your neck. If it doesn't feel okay, just look forward. See if you can find balance in both feet so that we're not leaning all of our weight forward or pressing all of our weight back, but that we're distributing it equally. Really stretch on this last breath. Reach those arms up. And straighten through the front leg. Bring the hands down to the right thigh. One palm resting on top of the other. Both legs are straight now as we're going to head into a pyramid type of pose. Hands walk down the leg, hinging from the hips. Chest is forward. And then relaxing your head downward. Hands can come all the way to the floor, the ankle, a block, a chair, the thigh, or something else. This one is a big hamstring stretch. So again, take an inhale, send the breath right into the stretch. Gather the tension up with the breath and exhale, let that tension go. One more breath here. When you're ready, with an inhale, raise back up, bending the right knee, bringing arms wide. We're headed for some balance, guys. Grab a wall or chair if you need it. And then we're bringing the chest forward. Left foot comes forward and off of the ground. Find your focal point, something to stare at that's not moving. And when you're ready, bring the left foot forward, find your way back to mountain pose. Headed to warrior one on the other side. With an inhale, right foot is stepping straight back. Right foot turns out just slightly. We're still facing forward when we turn that foot out. Hips are facing forward. Bending the left knee. Knee is aligned above the ankle and forward or aligned with the second and third toe. So it's not leaning in, not leaning out. Raising arms up overhead. If you can, palms together, intertwine the fingers, pointers up, thumbs out. Maybe looking up. Feet are balanced, or weight is balanced between the feet. We press down with the rear heel to help ground that pose. And on our last breath, take a big stretch upward. Lower hands down, straighten through the front leg, hands come to the thigh. Headed towards a pyramid pose variation, hips come back as we walk the hands down the leg, sending the chest forward, lengthening through the spine. And then ultimately relaxing our head downward. Noticing where the source of the tension in your hamstrings that you might be feeling now, or someplace else if it's not in the legs, and guiding the inhale breath to that tension, to that tightness, gathering it up and exhaling it, sending it away from your body, perhaps taking you deeper into the pose or deeper into a state of relaxed tissue. And when you're ready, start walking your hands back up your leg, bend your knee. Arms wide as you raise your chest. We're headed into balance, so grab a chair or wall if you need it. Chest comes forward, right leg comes forward. As we balance onto the left leg, right leg comes up. Finding something to focus on, some focal point. Keep in mind that your right knee or right foot might not be very far off the ground. Or maybe it's coming parallel, maybe it's coming parallel to the ceiling. Whenever you're ready to come back to mountain pose. Take a big step back with your right leg and turn. We're going to a wide-legged position on our mat. We're going to take one more wide-legged forward fold. So feet are parallel, legs are spread wide. Hips come back, chest comes forward. As we bring our hands downward, maybe they're coming to the floor, maybe they're just coming to the thigh. And we're going to twist here with an inhale. Right arm's gonna reach up, twisting through center. Really try to touch the sky with that right arm. Touch, touch, touch. And then bring it back down. As we go right over to the other side. Reach, touch, good, touch, touch, touch. And come right back down. Good. I'm going to take us through perhaps a difficult transition. Do what you can, and if not, I'll kind of modify it. We'll see how it goes. We're going to turn our whole body forward, bending the left knee, both feet facing forward. We're now in a low lunge. That right knee comes to the ground.
If you're like, what is she talking about? I'll walk you through it from standing. You'd come back to your mountain pose. We'd step back with the right leg. We'd bend the left leg. We bring both hands down to the ground and then the right knee down to the ground. Good job. We're gonna go to a pigeon pose here. That left foot is gonna walk over toward the right side of your mat, and then the left knee is gonna come down to the ground. For some of us, that left foot is also gonna come back down toward the groin to make this more accessible. Pigeon pose. We want to stay centered. We don't want to lean onto our left hip if we can help it. Now, this is a really intense posture for a lot of us. So an alternative is to come back to rock the baby where we started. That's a nice alternative for pigeon pose. You can also do that lying down. If you were able to get into this pigeon pose, come to your fingertips and lift your chest up. And then lower down onto your left hip and bring your right foot forward. We're gonna go to the other side. Left leg's gonna come back, straight back behind you, leaning onto a bent right leg. Left hand comes forward of the right leg. And then we position our weight onto the front, or the lower part of the right leg. The right foot is gonna be over by the left side of your mat. The right foot might be back towards your groin area, or the shin might be more parallel with the top of your mat, depending on what your hips are willing to give today. Or you might be in an alternative. You might be in something more like the rock the baby pose. If you're in the pigeon pose, come to your fingertips, lift your chest. Just one more breath. And then lower onto your right hip. Swing your left leg, or bring your left leg forward. And we're gonna come down to our back. Both knees come up to the chest for Apanasana, or knees to chest pose. And a gentle rock side to side. Taking a knee down twist here. Arms are wide. This is, being that it's lying down on our back, the twist seems a lot more accessible than some of our other twists, like our seated twists. But you need to ease into this just the same. So knees start coming over toward the floor on the right. And maybe you want to put something underneath your knees for support so that they're not coming all the way down, because that can be a pretty big twist in your spine. A blanket or a pillow works as well. Or maybe the knees do want to come all the way down. Just as we did before,
Find the tension in your body here. Breathe into the tension. Gather that tension up and then send it away with the breath. Whenever you're ready to take a breath in, bring yourself back to center, and then ease over to the other side. Again, maybe something's going to be underneath your knees, or sometimes the something you want is going to be underneath your extended arm. Sometimes it feels nice to have a pillow or something else underneath that extended arm. Breathe in into any areas of tension. Breathe the tension out. When you're ready with a breath in, make your way back to center. Give your knees a hug into your chest, and then lower your feet down, knees bent. We're going to just relax here in a constructive rest pose for a moment. If you're somebody who happens to keep a block nearby in their practice, or a bolster or other pillow or rolled up blanket, lift your hips and place that block underneath your sacrum. Your sacrum being the top of the fleshy part of your bottom, or the hip bone that goes from side to side. Close your eyes and allow your body to just be at ease here. Allow your body to communicate with you if it has anything to say. Working to discern the messages of our body is an important part of yoga. Our body is very wise. It too has collected all the knowledge that we've gained throughout our life. Our body also holds that knowledge, but it also holds the memories and the traumas. So we want to be very kind in listening to our body. We want to be very forgiving of our body, to our body. It might not work exactly like we hope it would. It might sometimes present dis-ease. But we want to be thankful and remain in gratitude for all that it's done and given to us, for all that it's carried us through. For the children that it's held and born, or fathered in some cases. For the work of the hands, for the taking of the feet. Even thankful for the weight on the shoulders. Allowing plenty of gratitude for this old tired body of ours. Let's take 2 more breaths. From here, if you are using a block under your hips, remove that block and lower back down and notice how nice that feels. If you're not using a block, straighten your legs, or even if you are, straighten your legs, moving yourself into our final rest pose, Shavasana. You can continue breathing into any area of tensions that are remaining, if you would like. Letting your breath carry it away, far, far away from you. Or maybe you'd like to imagine a scene in your head. Maybe a blue sky in your favorite outdoor location. Maybe a beautiful rainstorm at your favorite indoor location, or snowstorm. Perhaps just imagining a happy place, a happy idea, a happy memory or happy thought. With the holidays coming up, maybe it's a picture of family and friends and festivities. Maybe you pictured everyone gathered around the Christmas tree, or spinning the dreidel. Or maybe it's you sitting quietly with your favorite book. Allowing yourself to just be in your happy place, in a place of comfort and rest and joy. Breathing in everything that feels good and right in your life and about your life. Breathing in what you'd love to see more of. And then breathing out if you can, what's not serving you. Letting that go. Without complaint, but just acknowledgement. Breathing in what's right and breathing out what doesn't serve you. And of course, you're welcome to stay here. But if you're choosing to come out now, let's gently stretch arms overhead. Pointing feet, stretching long through the whole body, maybe yawning, or moving your jaw in some other way. Maybe bending arms or legs. Whatever feels good for you. And then when you're ready, rolling onto your side if that feels okay. And taking a fetal position. If you don't like rolling on your side, feel free to work your way up to seated in whatever way suits you. Wherever you are, take a few nourishing breaths here. Breaths that intentionally Just feed and nourish your body and your cells, your mind, your thoughts, your practices, your intentions. If you're lying down still, use your hand to push away from the ground and bring you up so that you're not relying on those now relaxed muscles to do the work, or the bones. Coming back up to seated. With the holidays among us, and the holidays surely are going to look different this year, or maybe they already have begun looking different with Thanksgiving than what they normally do. I want to take a moment and see if we can explore how we might be able to navigate that so that it doesn't bring us down, doesn't make us sad, or doesn't cause us to have broken expectations. So just take a moment, if you will, to contemplate that. And just sort of ask yourself or tell yourself, okay, I know the holidays might look a little bit different this year. And how can I be okay with that? Can I be ready for that? Can I even enjoy that? I know that Thanksgiving was very different at our house, and it was nice. It was different, but different doesn't mean bad. Felt nice. It was relaxing. A different way to enjoy Thanksgiving. For Christmas, we won't get to see our daughter down in California. And that'll be the first Christmas without her. Or first Christmas time. I think Christmas Day we've had without her. But it'll be different for sure. We'll visit with her on Zoom. But we'll still send her loving kindness, and we know that she'll be sending us loving kindness.
Well, for me, the positive is I am buying everything on Amazon and having it sent directly to my children for grandchildren, etc. So they have to wrap it. So
you're not even wrapping presents, Sally. That is different. See, you acknowledge this. With the nice thing about this is, I mean, come on, you're already ahead.
I know, no,
December 3rd, and you're already ahead of the game.
no standing in line at the post office, you know.
That's right.
So positive.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, I've got one more gift to buy, and I'm done, because I've just been sitting on my couch buying presents from the phone.
I mean, it's like at 2:00, I'm ordering one of those patio heaters, you know, that you can take outside and have it be warm.
Yeah.
And I'm going, this is interesting.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool. You know, I think that if we go into it with the right mindset, that there's positives in every circumstance. Even if sometimes we can't see the positive, we can trust that we're growing, or that we're affecting the world in some way by what we're doing. In fact, I'm going to imagine, without all of the hustle and bustles of the holiday, that might have some good effect on the world, won't it? Will it lower emissions or something like that? I mean, who knows, right? With less flights and less car trips, I bet we're going to have a much lighter carbon footprint than we normally do at Christmas time. In fact, that it actually is true. I did read an article after Thanksgiving. Normally, the average travel time for Thanksgiving is 6 hours. And this year it was down, I want to say below 3 hours. And that's
if you go around the country, that's a lot of emissions we're not putting out into the atmosphere. So there's, positives everywhere, right? Whatever they are. I hope that if you are going to be by yourself this holiday, that you can somehow embrace that time and cherish that time by yourself and do something special with yourself.
Right. Like shave your legs or something.
Exactly.
It could happen.
Spike your coffee. Go to sleep early. Eat the cake for breakfast.
It makes me want to live in the city where you can call Hub Grub.
Yes, no kidding.